Okay. I have returned from the land of Wano. I have returned from the land of the setting sun, or the rising sun. Rising sun, yeah. Let's see. It's been a while since I've live streamed on YouTube. Let me just check to see if all the settings are accurate. Yeah, that looks good. That looks all right. Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Hello, Teching. Hello, just a random dude. I love that username. That is an awesome username. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome, everybody. What's up? This is my first stream that I've caught. Awesome. Elbaf! Yep, Elbaf, indeed. We're bringing back these discussion streams. There we go. Can you do an impression of a character today in the stream? I could do an impression of Gunko as she is beating the ever-loving crap out of Brooke. It's like, you will obey me. There you go. There's my impression of Gunko. I love how they called her a zombie girl. That was really funny. She does give off zombie vibes. I mean, I remember when she first showed up, I thought she was like a mummy. Like she had the mythical mummy zone or something like that, yeah. Oh, Wano was fantastic. We could talk about my trip to Japan a little bit as well, but I really just wanted to break down the chapter and talk about that a little more just because, like, it's been a week or 2 weeks now, and I had to do 2 chapter reviews. Well, I did one of them in Japan. The other one I did yesterday, but, like, it's just been not a lot of, like, recent content on the channel given the fact I've been gone, but yeah. Have you given Loki a teching voice? You know what I could do? I could just, how about every arc we just give somebody the Orochi voice? So Orochi was Orochi, and then how about we just give Loki the Orochi voice? I am Loki! I am the accursed prince! I will destroy all of Elbaf! There you go. Yeah, just there you go. I do one voice, but I just give it to a different character every arc. Yeah. Keep up the amazing work. I love your videos. Thank you. I missed the chapter streams, man. Yeah, let's try to get back into those now. I gotta get back on schedules. Dude, I woke up at 1 p.m. today. My schedule is screwed over. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yes, my birthday was also this past week. I got birthday presents. I don't know if I'll be opening them today. I think I'm just going to do a light stream today just to kind of go over the chapter and ease into everything again. And then we'll get back into regularly scheduled programming. Get teching. Quick question: are you a fan of Epic? Oh yeah, I love Epic. I actually listened to Epic on a car trip, like a road trip, not long ago, and I listened to the whole thing on the way down, and it was so epic. It was really, really good. I was actually listening to Survive earlier today, which is probably my favorite song in that whole thing. But Epic is really good. Yeah. Okay, have you been to the One Piece only expedition? Been there last year. It was awesome. I was at the okay, by sheer coincidence, and I went to one of the Straw Hat stores, in Japan. But there were like a bunch of other ones, and I ended up at 3 of them. 2 of the other ones by accident. Like I just happened to be in the neighborhood where they were, and I was like, well, I'm here. So I went to 3 of the Mugiwara stores while I was in Japan. Oh, dude. What's my favorite color? Probably blue. But yeah, let's get some questions. How about we do some questions about the chapter, and then we can, talk about Japan and then chapter. And how about we can balance this out? We can do a little bit of a juggling act here today. That sounds like fun. Did you say any Blackbeard merch? Ooh, okay. I will bring that up right now because I do have some pictures from the trip to Japan. I'm not going to give you an entire slideshow, but I did look at this shit. This is from a shop in Akihabara, and I'm gonna have to flip these because of the yeah. Hold on a second. There we go. Look at that. That's sick as shit. Look at that right there, dude. Some of these were so I would love to buy some of these, but like holy crap, first of all they were way too big to bring home. I'd have to get these like shipped home to me or something. I managed to cram everything into my suitcase, and even then it was kind of filled. But like, dude, that was so cool. Some of these figurines were so badass. All right, anyway, here's a question from T. I don't understand the Holy Knight's strength. Are they constantly fighting strong characters? Is that not beneath them? They don't even want to fight an emperor. How did they get that strong? Okay, so remember the way that they talked about it is they did not say, like, we're afraid of Luffy, we don't want to fight him. They didn't say that. They didn't say, oh, man, we don't want to fight an emperor, we would lose. They said, we don't want to piss off an emperor. We're not here to do that. So remember, their whole idea is to obey the Gorosei. Like, they're directly under the thumb of the Gorosei and Emu, all right? Not even regular celestial dragons can really order them around. That's more of a Cypher Pull Zero thing. So their whole thing is obey what rules and missions you are given kind of thing, right? And we've seen with Saturn, like, when you don't do a satisfactory job, you just get kind of killed. So that's probably what they're told. It's like, you do a job, you do what you're told, and if you fuck up, then we're just going to kill you. We're going to rip away your immortality, and then you're going to die. So when you are told that this is your mission, to go and kidnap children from Elbaf, to let the giants, know about that and let them become like your thralls and stuff. That's your job. Your job is not there to pick a fight with a Yonko. Your job is not there to kill the Straw Hats. That's not the job you were given. That is the job you were given, is to go and do the hostage negotiation thing. And if you piss off, the rules, maybe you die. So that's not good. But, like, that's a question, like, why didn't the government just send the God's Knights to kill Kaido and Big Mom and all the Yonko? I feel like there's part of this that, like, there is a power dynamic that, like, the government does kind of take advantage of, where it's like, oh, okay, well, if the Yonko are out there, they're like a balance of power with the Marines, and we get to kind of do whatever we want. Remember, like, Gunko was aware the world was supposed to end, and she even said, like, well, the world was supposed to end, but nobody was supposed to know about it. So it really kind of seems like Emu was like, yeah, all right, let them go off and let the Marines fight the pirates, let the Yonko do whatever the fuck they want to do, but, like, ultimately the world's going to flood and everyone's going to die except us, and so who cares, right? It might have been that. It might have been like, could have Emu sent all of the God's Knights to go kill Kaido? Yeah, probably. But, like, what is, like, it doesn't matter. Everything's going to get flooded anyways. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I look at it like that a lot of times. What are the matchups you hope to happen? Well, considering we had Summers take down Saul, Robin has to fight him. Considering Gunko is kidnapping Colin and the children, I'm assuming Gaban is going to show up. But I would really like to see Brook fight against Gunko now, given everything between those two. I also want to see what Jinbei has cooking up. I want to see Jinbei figuring out a way to fight against Gunko. I actually saw a comment that made a lot of sense where Jinbei might have not have, like, immediately tried to do anything, like, could he have broken out? I mean, maybe he probably couldn't have, because the arrows are really strong, but could he have figured out something to do? Maybe. But, like, remember, like, fighting in a group is really dangerous because you can get your attacks redirected. So maybe Jinbei was thinking, like, maybe if I fought Gunko one-on-one without any of my friends to accidentally get hit, maybe that would be easier. Jinbei's a smart dude. I'm sure he's going to figure out some way to, like, attempt to fight her. The problem is not even so much her arrow fruit. The problem is her immortality. Like, Jinbei, even if he manages to get a square hit on Gunko with Haki square in the face, she's just going to heal. So it's like, how do you deal with this exactly, Yeah, Summers has the thorn fruit, and Robin has the flower fruit. I feel like, I mentioned that in the review, how, like, I could see that as being a parallel, like Robin using her arms to, like, capture Summers, and Summers is using the thorns to stab her, but Robin is still, like, containing him. She's not letting him go, no matter what. I think that would be a pretty badass scene there, absolutely. What is the epic moment that we all know Usopp is going to have on Elbaf to cement his dream of becoming a brave warrior of the sea? Well, whatever it is, it hasn't happened yet, because all that's happened so far in the arc is that Usopp got drunk and got hit in the knee by Gunko. That is all of that's what's happened there with Usopp. He's not a great showing for Usopp in the Elbaf arc, but we still have a lot of it left. We're not done with Elbaf. We'll see how this goes. Let's see here. Luffy shows up at your door and says, let's go. What do you do? I mean, I have to go. I mean, like, do I get a chance to pick anything up? Do I get to bring a sword or a kanabo or anything? I'm just like, Luffy just knocks on my front door and is like, for some reason, the Thousand Sunny is in my front driveway, and he's like, get in, loser, we're going. And I'm like, all right, sure. I mean, like, honestly, I probably won't die, right? Like, I have a pretty good survival chance with the Straw Hats. The only member of the Straw Hats to have died was Brook, but he died before he was a member of the Straw Hats, so I think we'll be all right. I did not go to Nara. No, there was a lot of places that I wanted to go, but they're just way too far. This trip to Japan really introduced how far away everything is relative to everywhere else. We stayed in Chiba. And Chiba, I was like, oh, that's Tokyo. It's not really Tokyo, but it's kind of Tokyo. I likened it to, like, New Jersey and New York. You know, if you say you're from New Jersey, you say you're from New York. But, like, you're not really, but kind of. But anyway, yeah, we were staying in Chiba, and it was like an hour train into the city of Tokyo. So now that I know where everything is relative to everywhere else and how long it takes to get to point A to point B, going back, I'll have a better idea of, like, you know, okay, this is going to be a day trip. This, I probably should get a hotel here. Like, we wanted to visit at Kyoto. Kyoto's going to take, like, a day trip or, like, no more than a day trip. It would be, like, a weekend in Kyoto or something like that. Yeah. Oh, Robin's going to go Demonio. She's going to go Demonio for sure here. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if she opened with it. Like, can you imagine, like, she emerges out of Saul's beard or his hair, and you just see the evil arms of Demonio arising out of Saul, and Summers turns around like, what the hell? And then you just have Demonio Robin showing up. I think Robin understands how dangerous Summers is. I mean, Saul even told her, like, hey, I know these guys. They're really strong. They're immortal. We can't beat them. And Robin, I think, is intelligent enough to know to go, like, full throttle right out of the gate. It's like, well, let's stress test this. Let's see what happens. Do you think that Robin would prioritize the library over the children? I think Robin is going to prioritize kicking the shit out of Summers. I mean, that kind of solves the problem, right? Like, if they can get rid of the Gods Knights, that saves the library and, by extension, the school and, by extension, the children. Like, they got to take out the Gods Knights. So we have 3 of them, and we have, you know, Gabon and Robin. We have Gunko, Summers, and Killingham. So Killingham is a little bit further away right now. He's not, like, where the other 2 are at the moment. Saturn and, not Saturn, I keep saying Saturn. Summers and Gunko are together right now. Meanwhile, Killingham is way back at the school. So somebody else is going to have to show up. Maybe Luffy and Loki will show up and fight him. That would actually be really cool to see Loki fight against, like, somebody that can, like, manifest dreams fights against Loki and Luffy. That would be really cool. Do you think that the world government will make the kids into, because of, like, the technology? I don't know if that technology was ever really, no. Like, yeah, I don't think they could do that. No, that the only abilities that we know that can do that are Shinobu's fruit and Bonnie's. And yeah, that couldn't work. Like, to make them, like, weapons immediately or something like that. No. I mean, probably more giant DNA to be used to make Seraphim and stuff, because the Seraphim are just like a hodgepodge of, like, Lunarian DNA and cybernetics and warlord DNA and all this other crazy stuff thrown in there, and green blood, and it's just like, yeah, so just throw giant DNA in there too. Why not, right? Let's see. From Cormano, I've been thinking that it may be possible that we get some Sunny upgrades with the Atom Tree, like Frankie being able to use it as a mech. I think, like, the Sunny turning into a giant mech is going to be, like, the final part of this. By the way, let me check on something really quick. Oh, wait, no, I don't have to check on this. The original Frankie was Battle Frankie 36, and then his upgraded form was 37, and then the Shogun is 38. It would be interesting to get to 40. Like, the Sunny is Battle Frankie 40, but it would be just, I guess, Battle Frankie 39. But I think everybody has been thinking for a while now that, like, especially since his wanted poster is now the Sunny, the idea of Frankie combining with the Sunny to make a giant mech. I mean, it already could shoot a giant laser. I think we're getting there slowly. The Gao cannon is so underutilized. Yeah, it is. But then again, like, the Sunny's not even with the Straw Hats right now. That's the thing. Like, it was kind of separated for most of Egghead and Wano and Elbaf. Like, they can't bring the Gao cannon with them wherever they go. That's why Frankie has the Frankie Shogun, and he can use the Gao cannon from that. But yeah, we haven't seen the Gao cannon in a while. It's been a hot minute. We see it more than in the anime than we see it in the manga. Oh my god, wait a minute. Is the only time we see the fucking Gao cannon at Sabaody? Like, in the manga. They use it again during, I think, Whole Cake in the anime, but I don't remember if they use it anymore in the manga. Frankie uses it with the Shogun at Punk Hazard. He says the Gao cannon has stepped on land, and he uses it there. Dude, against Big Mom? See, I don't remember them using it on Big Mom. They might have in the anime. I know they didn't in the manga. They use Kude Burst to get away from Whole Cake. Yeah. Sweden has the best Norse flag. I might have to go with Sweden or Iceland on that one, yeah. If the Sunny turns into a mech, I'd like to think of the Straw Hats would say something like, my stuff better all the same place. Oh, my stuff better be in all the same rooms as I left it, Frankie. I could see Nami saying that. Like, that's great. You turned it into a robot. You better not have destroyed my room. You know, all my shit's going to get knocked around now. By the way, speaking of mech, check this out. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to switch these. Look at this. Saw the giant Gundam in Odaiba. Dude, this was so cool. You can't see it. Okay, so you see in the background how there's that the stairs that have like the rainbow colors. So there was actually an idol group of like 5 or 6 like girls that were all on that stage like shortly after I took this picture, and they were all singing like J-pop music. And it was the most Japanese thing ever. It was a giant Gundam, and then behind the giant Gundam, like a J-pop idol group were all singing and posing and doing a bunch of stuff. So that was a very Japanese like moment. Dude. Your mustache is giving more French Musketeer than Viking. It still rocks, though. I did not bring a razor to Japan or an electric razor or anything, because I had like trimmed it before I left, and then I got there and I'm like, it'll be good for like 10 days. Dude, it was rough. It was rough by the time I got back. Like yesterday I was trimming it, but like, dude, it was rough. Oh yeah, I saw Super Sentai stuff all over Japan. Yeah, like every store we went through in Akihabara basically had something that was, Super Sentai. They had a whole section of Kamen Rider and stuff. I mean, yeah, it was all over the place. Any cultural shocks? Not really. Nothing cultural shocky. I think it's just because I've been absorbing Japanese media for like half my life at this point, over half my life at this point, that I got there and I'm just like, a lot of the stuff I was like, and I've been to a lot of anime conventions too, so it was like that, just way more built up. I have noticed something weird and disturbing when I think about it. Where does the Celestial Dragon children in Emu live? I have never seen kids and have never seen Reverie. Oh, you know what? Like, that is a good point. Like, there are children in the Celestial Dragon City. I mean, like, Doflamingo and Roshinate were both children that lived there. I was going to make a video a while ago, and I never did. But I was going to make, because it's, like, a really dark premise. But, like, the idea that Dragon wants to, like, purge the world of all the Celestial Dragons, like, what does that mean about, like, the children? And the babies, you know what I mean? Like, is Dragon gonna like murder like every celestial dragon? Because you gotta understand the logic of like, well, wait a minute, if you leave the celestial dragon children alive, but then you murder all of their parents, that might set up like, they grow up to be vengeful and like try to kill you. So like, what is Dragon gonna do? Like, what is Dragon's plan here? I don't know. And so I was gonna make a whole video about that, but like, the implications of like, that's so dark and grim that it's just like, yeah, they're all gonna turn into Orochis. And just like, so is Dragon just gonna kill everybody, every single one? Like, that's pretty brutal. I don't know how Oda's gonna tackle that. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Oh boy. Like, Dragon gets up there, and there's, like what happens when Dragon, like, the Revolutionary Army storms the city, and they go to one building, they start murdering celestial dragons, and they get to the one room with all the women and children, and it's like, oh, boy. What do you do then, Dragon, huh? Yeah. Did you enter the red light district? So, there was one night where I filmed a podcast with Manu at his studio, and that was, we're walking around Shinjuku at night, and that was where we saw a lot of like the maid cafes and like other kind of places, like brothel kind of places. There was one that was like succubus themed, like there were women outside dressed like succubi and stuff, like cafe succubus or something. There was one that was really freaky. There was one that we walked by that had like a bunch of like photos of models, like on front of the store to, entice people to go inside. But their eyes were all photoshopped to be like giant anime eyes. And it was the freakiest, most uncanny valley thing ever. Like, you're walking past like a brothel cafe kind of place, and then there's these women that just have these giant anime eyes. It's like, okay, that's just disturbing. So, yeah, that was a lot of weird. And then there was a temple. There was like a temple. We were like walking down the street of all the cafes and everything, and like scantily clad women, like, it was like, oh, come on in here to our place or whatever. And then there's a temple, like traditional Japanese temple that we went to. Yeah. Let's see. I'm sure the solution to the Celestial Dragons won't be as serious as we think. Like, Oda's gonna have to make it something. Like, Oda can't just say that, like, well, Dragon's Revolution went off without a hitch, and all of the Celestial Dragons learned a lesson, and they'll never be bad again. Like, yeah, no. There's gonna be some revolution going on here, all right? There's gonna be some people getting murdered, and they're gonna be busting out the guillotine, probably. You know what I mean? Like, this is like kind of shaping up to very be French Revolution type with this stuff, yeah. That could be why Dragon and Sabo are on that one panel in Egghead. They could clash because of a difference of extremism. Yeah, that could definitely be a situation. Absolutely. There could be a moment where Dragon is like, all right, it's finally time to liberate the world. Let's murder the Celestial Dragons. And then Sabo is like, maybe not. And he's like, Sabo, you don't know. You don't know what the Celestial Dragons took from me, Sabo. I'm Batman. They murdered my parents. I mean, Garp is still alive, but they murdered my mom. They might have. I don't fucking know. Do you think Gunko might get captured and drop theatrics? Maybe she's afraid of Nika because she doesn't want to lose the silver spoon. I mean, maybe. Like, look, there's a lot of debate, and every time I bring up the idea that maybe Gunko isn't, like, completely evil, like, as in maybe she was brainwashed or something else happened or something about her backstory that we don't know about, people are like, oh my god, she's just evil, just deal with it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, Summers definitely is. Shamrock definitely is. I'm not getting the same vibe from Gunko as I am from Summers. Summers seems like really sadistic. Gunko's story seems very different, like she was promoted from below. So there has to be some other story with Gunko that sets her apart from Summers' story. I don't know what it is yet, but we're going to learn about it at some point. I saw a theory on Twitter that the weakness to the regeneration of the Elders and the Holy Knights will be Fishmen Karate! Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't see why that would be the weakness. It's more of just, like, physical combat. But I did see something that, like, maybe it has something to do with Gunko's, like, soul or, like, mental state, because when she kicked Brooke, she had that moment where she, like, grasped her chest and she, like, coughed or made the sound effect, like, you know? So maybe it has something to do with going against your will or something. Like, so that's connected to your hockey. I'm not really sure. Huh. Can we talk about Vivi? We can absolutely talk about Vivi. I think Vivi's going to show up at some point. Oh, you know what's funny? We were in the Mugiwara store, right? And we were looking at all the stuff in there, and they have perfume. They have Straw Hat perfume. I'm not even kidding. It's really expensive. I didn't buy any. And they have cologne, too. Sabo's cologne smelled the best, in case you were curious. But we were going through the perfumes, and there was one that was Vivi's perfume, and it was, like, really, really strong. And my friend was trying it, and you know, she was like, oh, man, this is really, really powerful. And I'm like, you know what? Actually, that does make sense given Vivi's character during, you know, Alabasta with the perfume during that arc, you know, and Chopper was, like, overwhelmed by it. And it's like, yeah, that actually does make sense. So they thought things through. There's everything you could get there. Yeah, I got the sound effect wrong. It was Gyoto. Gyoto, which is a mimetic word meaning hold, squeeze. Yeah, so it didn't indicate anything like a cough. It indicated like tightening around like her clothing or something like that. But she was grimacing in pain. There was definitely, hold on a minute. I'll pull it up here. Oh, wait, no, I had that on my laptop. No, I even had a scene. I'll pull it up in the chapter. I have the chapter next to me here. Hold on a minute here. Let me pull this up. Greetings from Mexico. Hello. Yeah. So she's sweating and she's clutching her chest. So there's definitely something like a sharp pain or something going on. And Oda put that in there. So yeah, something definitely happened there. It's my little brother's birthday. Ah, I see what you did. Clever. Very clever. Happy birthday to one and all. Everybody whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday. I hope Gunko gets in a serious enough battle for her to use her awakening. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure she is awakened with her arrow ability, like she has to be. Yeah. What if the regeneration is shared stamina? Because everyone is linked together, so everyone needs to be fought to slow down the regeneration. Yeah, that would be fun. Like, if you, like, the idea is it not maybe just shared by Emu. The idea is if you just go and fight all of them at once, maybe it, like, divvies up their power or something. And they all had to, like, fight against... Well, then again, like, all of the Gorosei got hit by the hockey nuke at, like, the same time, and that knocked them out of their forms. So that definitely had an effect on them. What's on my coffee cup? It's Vikings. It's a Viking. See? I got this from Pittsburgh, the Carnegie Science Center. Last year, they were doing a display on Norse, archaeology and stuff. And, yeah. Greetings from Osaka. I did not go to Osaka, but I would like to go to Osaka. What do you think of the cast for the second season? Oh, it's looking good. I'm liking, I saw some interviews with Smokers, Smokers actor. I was going to say voice actor, and then I was just like, no, that's not right. Smokers, just normal actor, and Crocodiles. Crocodile has done, the guy that plays Crocodile, hold on, let me pull him up really quick here, because this is actually really cool. I saw an interview with him. Crocodile. Actor, One Piece live action. Joe Manganiello. Joe Manganiello. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that word. But he's going to be playing Crocodile, and I saw an interview with him where he actually got to sit down with Oda and talk about Crocodile's character a little bit. Like, so he was reading the manga and learning a little bit about the character and everything, and he specifically mentioned the hook. Like, Crocodile lost a hand at some point and is wearing this hook. And he was actually talking to Oda about, like, how he ended up, like, how he thought Crocodile lost it. I'm not sure if Oda told him how Crocodile lost the hand and he got the hook. I think it has something to do with Whitebeard. Maybe he told him that, like, you know, but whatever. It's interesting because he's thinking about the character. He's putting the character in his headspace and thinking about, like, all right, what happened to this dude to get him where he is now? Like, he's actually putting himself in the head of the character, and that's really nice to see, right? Yeah. Yay, actors actually researching their rules. I know, right? It's pretty cool. He seems to be a good role for it. I think he'll be okay. What is in Smoker's box? What's in the box? Law has stolen from Hachinosu the hearts of the pirates. Ooh, maybe. I don't know. It was a big box. Then again, there was a lot of hearts. I don't think Saul's going to die. Dude, I'll tell you what right now. I'm going to say this right now. If Saul dies in this arc, the rest of this entire story, you better buckle the fuck in. All right? Because if Oda is doing that, if Oda's going to go full on and kill Saul right after being reunited with Robin, oh, dude, that is going to be setting a dark as hell tone for the remaining of this story. Like, Oda's not going to be pulling any punches. Oda's going to be sitting there like, oh, you think I don't kill anybody, huh? Well, I was just waiting for the final arc. Like, I'm telling you what, like, if Saul dies, I'm going to be like, man, all bets are off at this point. One of the Straw Hats might die in this fucking endgame. Seriously, might actually happen. Oh, my God. I don't think he's going to, but if he actually went that direction, oh, man, that's going to be tough. Yeah, we're going a full-on Attack on Titan with this. Usopp might die. Chopper might die. Shanks might die. Garp's going to die. Like, you know, that's really setting it up hardcore. Hopefully it's Usopp. My God, a lot of people want Usopp to die. Smoker has Schrodinger's cat in the box. Is it alive or dead? Let's see. I also got this cool image of me outside the Mugiwara store. Could show that. Hold on a minute. Let me rotate that. There we go. Yeah. That was the Harajuku store. That was the first one we went to. That was the specific one I actually wanted to go to. And then there were two others that I was at. But, yeah, it was pretty sweet. And they also have this awesome statue of Gear 5 Luffy. This thing is huge. Dude, if I don't have enough room for it, but, like, I would want this in my studio. This would take up so much fucking room. This would take up so much room, but I want this in my studio so bad. If this was just hanging out in the corner the entire time, I would just use this. Just move my beanbag chair out of the way and just put that way up in the corner and just have that there forever. I spoke a little Japanese. Honestly, you don't need to speak that much Japanese to get around Japan. If you speak English as your main language, as your primary language, there's a lot of English that's there. Pretty much everything we went to like go get bus tickets or to get train tickets or your Suica card or recharge everything, that all has English options. The only place we went to was a grocery store to get milk. We bought some cheesecake and we wanted to get some milk. And the self-checkouts at the grocery store did not have an English setting. So just punching like, all right, I was a cashier for a long time. They're all the same. Just beep, 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 scan, run the card. It worked fine. Did you see any Bleach merch in Japan? Actually, the first thing I got in Japan was actually a gacha from Bleach. There was a Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War Arc gacha machine in Chiba, and Arthur was showing me around Library of Ohara. He was showing me around Japan, and the first thing I got was this, and I got Ichibei. I got Ichibei Hyosubi, and I put the Ichibei on my backpack. So, like, the first thing I did, this was, like, the first night I got there, got that in a gacha machine and put that on my backpack, and I was just walking around with that the entire week. I also got a really cool thing at the Tokyo Skytree. It was a Sheikah Slate little keychain thing from Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I put that on my backpack, too, so I had, like, the Sheikah Slate on the back of it. That was awesome. Yeah. Oh, that is a grim question. That is a dark question. Chris the Fiend, do you have plans for your own family one day? I know your parents had you a bit older. Is that implying like when my parents die and what I'm going to do for their funeral? Damn, that's a deep question. Holy shit. You know, I mean, like, yeah, my parents are a little older. My dad is 66, going to be 67 this year. And I've thought about that. Like, my grandfather died when he was 79. My dad's dad died when he was 79. My dad's 67, so that's only like 12 years apart. But they're both retired now, so, you know, I could spend more time with them and stuff. But, man, yeah. Oh, no, I meant they had you in their 30s. Oh, that makes more sense. Oh, no, like, in terms of that. Oh, I don't want kids. No, I'm never going to have children, probably. No, I don't think it's for me. A lot of my friends are having children now, and I'm like, all right, that's great, awesome. I don't think it's for me. You guys have fun, though. You know, like, you have fun. Oh, yeah. But yeah, no, I took that a completely different way. I interpreted that like, do you have plans for your parents when they die? It's like, what? Oh, dude, yeah. That's nice. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Oh, man. All right. I have a theory that Whitebeard used his fruit to break off a piece of God Valley as a quick escape. I mean, maybe? I don't know. I mean, like, we got to learn the whole backstory there to figure out how everybody got separated and where they all ended up. Like, did Big Mom create her own crew, like, immediately after God Valley? Like, how that all went down? Kaido got captured at some point, multiple times by the government, so that happened later. Yeah. I'm all for the Robin fight, but I feel like Summers might be a hard counter against Robin's fruit. But that's why we have Chopper. Okay, yeah, Chopper and Robin. I mean, Chopper was like, no, Robin, don't go fight. But if Robin's going in to fight, well, then again, Chopper's got to... See, here's the thing. Chopper is the doctor, and Saul is brutally injured. So Chopper kind of has to stay behind to make sure Saul doesn't bleed out. So I don't think Chopper's going to run off and fight. I think Robin's going to go and attack Summers, and she's going to be like, Chopper, you save Saul. And Saul's going to be there bleeding out, and Chopper's going to have to save him. I think that's probably how that's going to go. Yeah. Oh, congratulations, Chris. There you go. How about clones? Nah, I don't want clones. Do you think Biblo will fight? Oh yeah, what if Biblo wakes up from the library and kicks Killingham's ass? That would be really cool. It's Robin, it's Gabon, and it's Biblo that kick the shit out of the Gods Knights. That would be great. That would be great. What other Bleach things did you buy? I bought a figurine of Ichigo, and then I also got a there was some other Bleach thing I bought, but I can't remember right now. I bought so much stuff. I bought a lot of stuff. It was mostly souvenirs because, like, the entire time I was there, I was like, ooh, this person will like that. Ooh, I got to get something for this person. Got to get something for that person. So I bought a lot of stuff for myself, but I got a lot of souvenirs. I didn't know how much crap I managed to fit inside of in my suitcase, but it was a lot of it. Does Summers have a worse version of Green Bull's Devil Fruit? So yeah, Green Bull could make thorns as well, except these thorns operate a little different. Like he can make regular briars of thorns and like objects and weapons made of thorns. We've seen that. But the main effect is like he can do the thorn thing, like the invisible thorns that stab you when you try to come in contact with somebody that you care about. That's really probably something that Green Bull could not do. It's more of the concept of a thorn, like the symbolism involved. But then he can also make a giant briar. But it's not that different from other devil fruits. Some have weaker versions and then upgraded versions of certain fruits. Like Mr. One just kind of has the downgraded version of Baby Fives. That's already been established. Yeah. Um, yeah. Do you think Nika turned evil and became Emu? Well, we know that at least one iteration of Nika wasn't great. Like, we know that apparently in the first realm, the sun god was... Wait, I think in the second realm, I think the sun god was, like, interpreted as a bringer of destruction. That's why some of the giants think that Nika is evil, is that reference in the Harley for the second realm. So it's possible that that version of the sun god could have become Emu, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And then we have Luffy versus another version of himself, basically. That's fascinating. Oh, I just realized it because it's kind of in the background, but there was one gotcha machine that had beetles in it. And there was so many gotchas, especially in Akihabara. I couldn't buy all of them, obviously, because there were so many. But this is the one that I really thought of. This was kind of expensive, too. This was like 1,500 yen, which was like over $10 for this. But it was a bug, and I had to put it together, and it's so cool. It even, like, opens a little bit. Like, you can even see, like, look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah. Little Hercules beetle thing. Worth it. The beetle is sick. Big bad Beetleborgs. Dude, I use so many like coins in Japan because like a lot of it is still like a very cash-based economy. I used my card a lot too. I mean, card works for like convenience stores and in a lot of the touristy areas. Like if you're trying to buy stuff like souvenirs, they'll accept card. But like, yeah, I was using change a lot more than I ever used here. I felt like I was back in the 90s. Like, oh, and vending machines are everywhere, and I always really want to stay hydrated. That's like number one thing when I'm visiting anywhere. It's like I don't want to get dehydrated, so I'm always stopping at vending machines to get water out and always using that. Did anyone recognize me in Japan? No, nobody really recognized me other than Manu and Arthur, who I've already known and have talked with. Yeah, nobody came up to me on the street and was like, "You're Teching 101," and was like, "Yeah." Teching, why do so many people think their opinion matters more than others? Ego. That's just ego. Yeah. Drinking too much water can also dehydrate you. Well, I wasn't drinking it, like, excessively, but I made sure to, like, okay, always have a bottle of water on me. I did not try that, no. There was one coffee shop that was really good. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was around Shinjuku. That was a really good place. We actually, there was a place that was like a French cafe in the station, and had breakfast there practically every day, and they had some of the best-looking baked goods ever. So good. The croissants were delicious. I got coffee there. Yeah. So good. Oh, yeah, there was a lot of JJK stuff. There was one friend of mine that really liked Hawks from My Hero Academia, and there was a figurine that she wanted, and it was like, oh, look for this figurine of Hawks. And I realized that, like, My Hero Academia isn't really that big in Japan. I mean, there was a lot of, like, One Piece stuff and JJK a little bit, but in Dragon Ball, obviously, and Pokemon everywhere. But, like, yeah, My Hero Academia, not too much. And Bleach also. Bleach was very sparse. I mean, there was one store we went into that had all these figurines, and there was, like, one little cube of section that had Bleach and another one that had My Hero. But other than that, nothing really. No, we didn't really watch any movies in Japan, no. There was a lot of movie theaters we walked by. We just didn't go into movies. Did not go in any love hotels, no. Saw a lot of love hotels, though. Probably a lot of those places in Shinjuku that I saw. I like washing machine guy from My Hero Academia. Yeah, wash. Yeah, wash. Yeah, I think there's just a lot of anime that are bigger in the West, and that's like My Hero and Bleach are definitely those ones, for sure. Dragon Ball is still really big. In fact, there was one store we were in where there was this like life-size Goku. Super Saiyan Blue Goku. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty sick-looking thing. Yeah. Sony Mechs. I already showed this earlier, but yeah, there was, Daiba. There is a giant Gundam that you can look at. Big Gundam. There was actually a couple bits of Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha are around. There was one, so I was buying a souvenir for my mom. I was getting a necklace for my mom, and the lady at, like, the jewelry store, we were talking to her, and my friend had an Inuyasha shirt on, and we were talking to her, and, she's like, oh, I love Inuyasha. I watched Inuyasha as a kid. I was like, oh, yeah, it's really big in the United States. And she was, like, flabbergasted. She was like, what? Inuyasha in the United States? I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, we all watched it growing up. It was really good. It was really popular. Yeah, and so she was, like, floored by the fact that, like, Inuyasha was big in the United States. Yeah. It's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God. Yeah, there were some not safe for work stores. I didn't go in any of those, yeah, but there were some, like, 18 only, kind of plus kind of stores that, like, yeah. Do you think the Rocky Port incident should be adapted as a spin-off one-shot manga? Yeah, I think so. I have no idea who would be the artist. Yeah, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head. But, like, yeah, any extra One Piece is like, hey, do you think a side story of Gaimon should exist? I'd be like, yes. Do you think a side story of Whoop Slaps? Yes. I want to know about Whoop Slap's life. I would take anything of anywhere. Oh, Shin-chan was everywhere. There was a lot of Shin-chan, like all over. Also, Conan. There was a lot of Detective Conan stuff. I think a new movie. There had to be a new movie coming out because we went to go see the Tokyo Sky Tree. And beautiful, by the way. Like, this is the Sky Tree. It's the third largest building in the world. Huge, huge building. And they had, like, a whole Conan sort of, like, promotional thing going on. And so I think there's a new movie coming out. Yeah. Yeah, this was it. Detective Conan One-Eyed Flashback. Yeah, this was advertised, like, everywhere. Like, subway stations. I think it's like the 28th movie in the franchise. That's crazy to me. Have I played the Oblivion remake? No, I have not. Never even played the original Oblivion. Never really got into the Elder Scrolls series. I played like an hour of Skyrim, and that was it. Whoop Slap sure lived a life. He did. He certainly did. Yeah, 1147 came out already. I did a review of it last night, and we're talking about it here. Yeah, welcome in. Spoilers if you haven't read it yet or if you're waiting for officials. If Luffy encounters Killingham, do you think we might see an early peek at Luffy's dream? That would be, because, see, that's the thing. That's why Luffy and Loki fighting against Killingham would be interesting. If he knocked them both asleep and looked to see what their dreams were, that would be really cool. So I kind of want them to fight him. I'm not into Detective Conan. I watched a little bit of Case Closed growing up because it was on TV, like, early in the morning when I would wake up before school. But, like, yeah, I'm not really into the series. To me, it would seem, like, exhausting to be, like, a fan of this series just because, like, wow, it's been, like, 35 years and, like, that we're not at the end yet. Like, it's like more of an episode of the week kind of thing, like an episodic adventure. It's not like with One Piece where it's like, we're making progress. I don't know. Like, it just feels like it just feels like after a certain point, like, okay, it's more of like story of the week kind of thing. Can we just get to the end, I guess? But I don't know. It's a really really big property. Huge property. But hey, if it works, it works. Yeah. Yeah, it's a murder mystery, but like I think if you just read it and didn't think of it as like this is an ongoing, like there is a continuity toward the end of the story, if you just read it more as like this is an episodic murder mystery manga, which is what it is, then it's fine. It's good. Yeah, after the 5th time the organization escaped and Conan lost all leads, I dropped it. It's like, at this point, like, yeah, like the whole point is getting kind of just treat it like an episodic adventure, right? Just do that. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of the idea that Blackbeard took Moria to put Weevil's shadow into while Whitebeard's corpse? I made a video years ago about somebody digging up Whitebeard's corpse and using that as a zombie. It might happen. Can you just imagine the grave? It's like Solomon Grundy from like Justice League Unlimited, just like giant hand emerges out of the grave, and we have zombie Whitebeard. Mother Caramel's homies might still be around because the soul fruit never reincarnated because it never left a living body. Maybe Pandora is actually Prometheus. I don't know. Like the way that the soul power works in that regard. Like, does a homie disappear if the previous user disappears? Sometimes with devil fruits that happens, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, Detective Conan is... Oh, no. Detective Conan's older than that. One Piece is 1997. Detective Conan is like, I think the 80s. Oh, no, wait. No, I was wrong. 1994. Wow, I thought it was way longer than that. I thought Case Closed was older than JoJo's. By the way, I went to the JoJo's pop-up store, too. JoJo's was fun. Hold on, did I do the JoJo pose? I did do the JoJo pose! I did the JoJo pose. I don't know if that's a JoJo pose. I just kind of did that. I stood in front of them and did that. There you go. But yeah, I thought Case Closed was way older than that. Now, still, I mean, 1994, it's about as old as I am. It's 31 years old. Yeah. What's your favorite JoJo? Who's my favorite JoJo? Probably Joseph or Giorno. One of the two. JoJo's is like from 88 or 87. Yeah, JoJo's started airing or started serialization in 1987. January 1st, 1987. So, yeah. I don't get why Giorno has love. He has such a dry character. I don't know, man. The dude has drip, all right? Like, the dude has a cool-ass outfit, a cool-ass stand. He has ladybugs on his jacket. Like, what more do you want, man? What more do you want? That he has, like little exhaust pipes in his hair. Like, come on now. He's Italian. Maybe I'll go to Italy next. I don't know. Donut hair. Yeah. Did we talk about 1147? Yeah. Yeah, we're talking about Japan and then we're talking about 1147, kind of bouncing back and forth. Missed a chat. Well, I have a thing. If Moria comes back, I want to see Nightmare Gear 5 Luffy. Moria might not have his devil fruit anymore. But I would like to see Nightmare Luffy again. Nightmare Luffy was kind of prototype Gear 4th if you really think about it. kind of like, that was kind of a thing where maybe Oda wanted to do like, hey, I want to do some Gear 4th shit, but he's not quite there yet. I'll give him Nightmare Luffy. Yeah. Yeah, Bucciolati. Okay, I'll argue that. Bucciolati was probably a more interesting character than Giorno. That probably is. I think you can make that argument. Your content has helped me through so many rough times. I fall asleep to you more than frequently. Thank you, brother. Well, thank you, dat dude. I'm glad I was able to help you rest your head on your bed at night. All right. But, like, what else? Oh, you know, here's something fun. We could talk about the opening of the chapter where Raizo is the daimyo of Udon. And I went on this whole rant in the review where, like, Raizo and Itarashi as well are both really shitty at being daimyos. Because, like, people are going missing and being kidnapped, and it was up to Yamato to save them. And they only show up, like, Itarashi shows up and be like, man, Yamato, I'm really troubled by all the kidnapped people in my region. Anyway, you want to go have a lunch break? And then Yamato shows up at Who's base and destroys him. And then Raizo shows up afterwards like, thanks for helping me, Yamato. Have some rice balls. And just like, yeah, what the fuck were you doing, asshole? Like, you're the freaking daimyo. You're like, go over here. You're a ninja. Go over here and fight them. So there's 2 scabbards left, right? We have Okiku and we have Kawamatsu. Kawamatsu is probably the daimyo of Ringo because he spent so much time there with Onimaru guarding everything. So, you know, Kawamatsu's probably the daimyo of Ringo and Okiku's probably the daimyo of Hakumai. So can at least those 2 be doing a decent job? I would love for Yamato to go to Hakumai next and Okiku's there and everything is just perfectly in order and everything's good and structured properly and there's no crime and Okiku just did a fantastic job and Yamato just returns Yasuie's sword to the shrine and all right, there we go. No conflict. We're good. Then we go to Ringo, and Kawamatsu's already defeated Sasaki. Like, Sasaki was causing troubles in Ringo, and so Kawamatsu and the banded together with an army and managed to defeat Sasaki. And by the time Yamato gets there, everything's okay. Like, there we go. It's like, Inuarashi and Raizo, you guys just suck at being daimyos. Oh, man. I'll be doing, I think I'm going to be a guest, like a proper guest at Techo this year in Pittsburgh. So I'll be doing another trivia contest. In fact, that's the next thing I really kind of have to, it's not for a few months. It's not until July, like later July. But yeah, I'm probably going to be doing a panel there. Another trivia contest like I did last year. That was a lot of fun. I'll make sure the questions aren't as difficult this time. I'll dial down the questions a little bit. They were kind of difficult last time. But yeah, I want to do that again with all the clipboards and the trivia handout sheets. That was a lot of fun. I got to bring more forms and more clipboards this time. I'm going to have about 100, so hopefully that'll be good enough. And then we are going to do probably like a fan meetup, like a proper fan meetup. The saddest One Piece backstory. To me, oh, no Straw Hats. Oh, okay. Probably Kuma's then. Yeah, I don't think you can get more sad than Kuma's if you're not talking about a Straw Hat backstory. Did you see Boruto? I did not see that much Boruto, actually. I don't think I saw any Boruto. I saw... No, okay, that's not true. It was lumped in together with all the Naruto stuff, so there was a lot of Naruto things, and there was some Boruto stuff there. But I didn't see, like, a lot of characters represented from Boruto. Like, I saw basically Boruto, and that was it. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of Vigilantes. I'm really liking the comic book style pop-ups, and they still use the original soundtrack from My Hero, which is pretty cool. I actually cosplay as Koichi one time. Yeah. I wonder if all of the weapons and everything in Onigashima are salvaged before it was yeeted into the ocean. You know, I brought this up. Like, Frankie should have just taken all of the weapons. Like, not all of them. You can't carry everything, but, like, dude, there were so many Sea Prism bullets that were being manufactured. Now, yeah, they were manufactured on, like, slave labor of all the people of Wano, but, like, dude, it's still there. They still had all the weapons. That should have been a massive upgrade for Frankie, and I still believe that that was a missed opportunity. Frankie should have, like, well, I mean, Orochi and Kaido were making all of these Sea Prism weapons. I mean, yeah, you guys are freed now. You don't have to make weapons anymore, but the shit's still here. I could see Frankie being like, well, if nobody's going to take them, I'll take a couple barrels of Sea Prism bullets, Like, yeah, that was a wasted opportunity, I think. Oh, those are a thing. They use them in Wano. Yeah, there was a guy that used them. Armadillo Man had Sea Prism bullets. Yep, that's 100% a thing. Even if you don't want to say it's a thing, like Armadillo Man was just bullshitting or whatever, there was still a fuck ton of Sea Prism weapons. Like, even just taking a Sea Prism chain and, like, wrapping it around Frankie's arm and using that as, like, a cudgel. Using that as, like, an augment thing, like Zephyr's arm from film Z. Even using that would have been better. Like, some kind of upgrade. Like Frankie gets Sea Prism brass knuckles. He could have easily have done that. Easily could have had that upgrade. Gunko's sigh after attacking Brook made me think her power might just work like a farm dog thing. Most people are just livestock to her, but she likes Brooks. Oh yeah, that's a thing. I can see that kind of perception. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Like, she views other people as objects, but the one person she actually does kind of admire is Brook. And because, like, maybe in order to use the power, you sort of have to give up your humanity. Because obviously the Gorosei didn't have an ounce of humanity in them. They didn't give a shit about anybody. Maybe Gunko, because she originates from the lower realm and has a normal upbringing, maybe like a loving family, and she ended up as a celestial dragon somehow. That's why her her story is so fascinating, and I want to learn more about her backstory. I don't think it's just going to be, Gunko's evil, get over it. It's just like, no, I think there's more to this. This is more to this here. All right? So, yeah. That might be it. Maybe she viewed Brook as somebody she actually admired and was like, hurt him and didn't actually want to do that and kind of harmed her in the process. Yeah, curious if we'll get more information on where he saw Gunko. That was so weird. And I don't think it has anything to do with Brook recognizing Gunko as, like, a fan. I think it was something else. I didn't see a lot of Boruto stuff there. I really didn't. I don't know what I don't read Boruto, so I really don't know how popular it is. Oh, but fun story. We were walking by a bookstore, like a book stand, right? And Arthur was with us, and he was showing us around, and that's where I bought the copy of Shonen Jump. I have, hold on a minute. Yeah, it's here. Okay, so this is, I don't have a picture of this, but it's crazy. So there's all the, Shonen Jump is not the only manga magazine in Japan. Like, there's a lot of them, right? There's the magazine that Kingdom is published in. There's the different magazine that Record of Ragnarok is published in. Like, Shonen Jump is the most famous. But anyway, we're looking at all of these manga magazines and stuff, and every single one of them, except for Shonen Jump, all the other shonen magazines, do you know what's on the front cover? Like, what's on the front cover of, like, every single one other than Shonen Jump? Go and guess. I want you to guess if you don't know. Yeah, there's V-Jump. Yeah, Berserk is in another. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch. Yeah. One Piece, nope. Ladies. Yeah, ladies. So, all of them, except for Shonen Jump, have, like, gravure idols as not anime, not manga, actual, like, gravure idols in, like, lingerie or bikinis on the cover of all these shonen magazines. And Arthur was like, yeah, it's basically like clickbait, essentially. And I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see that. So we go over to a book stand, and it's all the manga laid out. And then, there's Shonen Jump right there. And then next to Shonen Jump, there's like 7 other magazines that also have shonen manga in them, but just have like gravure idols in like sexy poses and like boobs all over the place. And I'm like, all right, I see what they're doing. I see what they're doing, you know? Yeah, I mean, sure, I get it. The original, it's like back in the old days on YouTube when you want somebody to click on a video, you would put like just a lady in a bikini with huge boobs in the thumbnail, and then like, I'll click on that, and it's something completely different. It's classic analog clickbait. It's just, yeah. Oh yeah, there's so many idols over there. A lot of idol stuff over there. Otto, who does the music in Film Red, she is very popular in Japan. Her music was everywhere. Oh, we were sitting down to get at a restaurant. We were getting a pork bowl kind of thing, which, by the way, that pork bowl was so good. Do I have a picture of the pork bowl? Oh, man, I don't think I have one on here. But, dude, that pork bowl was so damn good. I had it twice. And the karage, oh, it's so good. Anyway, I'm sitting there eating my pork bowl, right? And one of the Bleach openings starts queuing up in the music in the background at the restaurant, and it was the 4th Bleach opening. It was the one for the Bount arc, you know? It was, what was it called? There was a day where I knew all the Bleach openings. Oh, She's a Shooting Star, I think it was called. Like, Shooting Star. She's a shooting star. Good night. You know, that song, right? So that's playing in the background, and I'm like, I fucking know that song. No, Tonight, Tonight, Tonight. That was it, by Beat Crusaders. Yeah, that's playing in the background. And that was like a song from like 2006. You know what I mean? So that's like an opening from 2006. So I'm like, I know this song. And then immediately after that, the opening theme of fucking Lucky Star starts playing. If you remember Lucky Star, which is like another anime that I watched when I was like in high school, and like Gurren Lagann and shit, and then just like, oh my god, it was Lucky Star's opening. Like they were playing like anime openings from like the mid 2000s. It was so surreal. Oh, dude, yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Ugh. Now, I have pictures of the pork bowl, but I still have to just take them off my phone. Yeah, that was so good. 1 week is such a short time for a trip. I mean, it was just kind of what we had to work with. I'm going to go back. Like, it's going to happen. So, yeah. I don't understand copyright in Japan. It's all right. Nobody does. You missed my super chat. Okay, hold on. I'll pull up a thing. Elbaf was Usopp's arc, but it's going to be Brooks. I didn't interpret it that way. I mean, Brooks had some focal points in the last couple of chapters because of Gunko. I wouldn't say this is Brooks' arc. I wouldn't say it's Usopp's arc either. If anything, it's Loki's arc so far. Like, I wouldn't really say any of the Straw Hats have had, like, a particular moment where it was like, oh, this is their arc now. Maybe Robin. Robin might be the one that has the best claim to that just because she had the biggest moment so far with reuniting with Saul. But, yeah, no, I don't think this is going to be all about Brooke. I think there's going to be references. I think Oda's trying to just balance some stuff with the Straw Hats. And I get it, dude. It's the same thing like when you're playing D&D and you have a big, cast of players. You're trying to figure out ways to expand on all of their individual storylines while also doing the main story. And it's hard. It's hard to balance everything at once. So, like, throw in something for Brooke, throw in something for Robin, throw in something for Usopp. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, he got beat up by Gunko and he got punched by Jinbei. It's not a great showing so far, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Chopper's just happy to be there right now. Yeah, Chopper's just happy. There was also a giant chopper in the Straw Hat store. Harajuku Chopper! Don't touch Chopper. Please do not touch Chopper. He has little shoes. Look at his little sneakers. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Crazy times. Brooke is going to die by the end of the story. That's grim. He's already died once. Can't the man have a break? Let's see. What else happened in the chapter? Let's see. Okay, so Saul's scene. Brooke and Gunko. Summer's threats. Oh, and then the mothers show up. The mothers show up and take out the Great Eric, which, like, I'm not upset about that. I'm not upset that, like, the giants themselves, like, because they would have something they would fear as well, right? Like, they're these powerful warriors, but, like, it doesn't matter how old you are. You always have something that you're afraid of. And in this case, they're their moms and their wives. Those are the two things that just are ripping them apart. And I can kind of understand that, and I get it. So it's like, I'm okay with them being felled by them, right? I was a little curious about what Scopper Gabon was doing, because Scopper is like he shouldn't be affected by that in the same way. So, like, why is he not, like, just cutting up the moms of Elbaf, you know? Unless there was, like, a MMA version of Ripley, but we don't see that. That was so funny. Yeah. Those are the wives, yeah, but they started remembering about their own moms. They started remembering, like, I'm sorry for always going out drinking, Mom. Sorry for not taking out the trash and not listening when you told me to clean my room. I'm like, I'm sorry, Ma. You know, like, they're like trauma dumping their, you know, because, like, at a young age, they went out to sea to go be pirates, and it's just like, oh, I'm sorry, Ma. I didn't turn out the way you wanted me to. I'm sorry. You know, so that like the shared trauma is bubbling up. Just in time for Mother's Day. Yeah, that's coming up soon. Yeah, mothers are I think Oda literally said that. Mothers are the antithesis to adventure. Because if you have a happy family and your mom and your dad are there and everybody's happy and having a good time, why would you go out and have an adventure? You would just stay home, right? Oh, by the way, speaking of not having parents, there was that one kid, Johanna, who, like, was like, oh, by the way, at least you guys have parents. So, like, I feel like Oda's setting up something for her character. Like, okay, she has ancient giant lineage, and her parents are apparently dead. So that might be setting up for, like, maybe her parents went to go fight Big Mom at some point, and they died. Because she's, like, you know, in the walrus school. So her parents wouldn't be that old. Her parents would be, like, you know, the same age as, like, Ripley, maybe a little older. Yeah. So, like, that's interesting. You know, like that character right there. Like, that was some backstory lore. All the other children were just like, Mom, please save me. And then Bjorn was like, oh, just save me at least. The others can maybe die. I just want to survive. Everyone's like, what the hell, Bjorn? It's like, I'm sorry, guys. I just don't want to die. But then Johanna is like, yeah, you guys have parents. So I guess she's an orphan? Damn. She was one of them with horns. Yeah, there were two. Ilva, I think, has horns, but she's wearing a helmet, so I don't know if that's part of her helmet. And then Olaf's, I think, are definitely parts of his helmet. And then Skadi also has horns. Yeah. How much Japanese did you learn before going to Japan? Not that much. I mean, honestly, I knew a little bit beforehand. I brushed up on it a little bit before I went, but, like, honestly, like, I didn't know, like, the one thing you're going to be saying mostly is arigato gozaimasu, you know, whenever you say, like, thank you at a convenience store or whatever, have a nice day, just say arigato gozaimasu. Sumimasen is, like, excuse me. Kore wa is, like, you point to something. Kore means this thing, you know, like, stuff like that. Like, when I was ordering coffee in the morning, I knew, like, you know, because they're going to ask hot coffee or cold. Atsui, samui, you know, chisai means small size. Chusai means medium. I think taisai means large. I never had to order a large or anything, but, like, I just, like, basic sizes of things and stuff. You know, just a little bit of Japanese will definitely help you, but, like, it's not, like, you should be able to navigate pretty well without knowing Japanese. Did anyone ask you to just speak English? No, not really. There was this nice... Oh, I gotta tell you this story. We were on the train at one point, and there was this old Japanese businessman sitting next to me. and he started bringing up a conversation, and he could speak like okay English, and he was talking to me about like, where was I from, what do I do for a living and stuff. I was trying to like convey to him I talk about anime on YouTube, which might have been a little bit confusing. He gave me his business card, and then I gave him my business card. We traded business cards. He worked for like a chemical company in Japan, and we're talking about stuff, and he was asking like, how long am I going to be in Japan? And I was like, Mokuyobi, it's Thursday, right? And he's like, yeah, Mokuyobi means Thursday. And I'm like, so we were talking a little bit about that. So that was really cool. That was really cool. Yeah, well, in Japan, it's very standard to take out your business card and like, everybody hands things to each other with like two hands. It's like shown as like reverence. So even like when you're getting a receipt at the convenience store, they're not just going to rip the receipt out and give it to you like this. They will take the receipts, put them together, and they will hand them to you like this. Okay, and you accept them with both hands, all right? And so that's the thing. So he takes out his business card. I take out my business card and give it to him. And it's like, and he looks at because there's my avatar, my channel avatar is on my business card. And he's like, that you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, good resemblance. And I'm like, oh, thank you. It's like, that was so cool. Oh, yeah. Did you manage to have contact with Oda? Yes, I met Oda. He told me what the One Piece was. We had a long discussion. He took some of my notes about what's going to happen. I will say, Shanks' hot sister will appear in the very next chapter, chapter 1148. He could not fit Shanks' hot sister into chapter 1147, but he said chapter 1148, she is going to be included. She's going to show up. She's going to be, it's like, oh yeah, could you make her, long red hair, huge boobs? It's like, absolutely, no problem. And she's going to use this really cool giant sword, and she's just super sexy, and she can turn into like a Valkyrie, and just like, it's a whole thing. Don't worry about it. Just networking. Yeah, no, I did not see Oda. Although, but the idea is like, I was in an area where it's like, Oda's in the same area as I am. That was kind of cool. Yeah. Bikini armor. Yeah, you see where this is going. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, like a Scottish Urza. Yeah. So like Urza. You have business cards? I mean, yeah. I mean, I have cards that have like a link to my YouTube channel and my channel logo and all that stuff. Yeah. Ripley is a mom. She's gonna die. I hope Ripley doesn't die. She's named after Rhea Ripley. I'm still waiting for Shanks' hot sister, too. What food did I eat? What's funny? The entire time we were there, I'm like, oh man, we got to try sushi at some point, right? And we didn't have sushi until the last day we were there, but it was so good. We went to a place in Odaiba, which had hot springs, and had sushi there, and it was so good. So good. My birthday this year was like 42 hours because of the time differences, yeah. I had 2 Thursdays back to back, essentially. Because we got on the plane 5 p.m. Thursday and landed 5 p.m. Thursday. So, yeah, I had essentially 2 birthdays. You better have a good-ass day. Yeah. And then I went to bed last night at 3 a.m. and I woke up at 1 p.m. I went to bed at 3 a.m., woke up at 1. So it's going to take a few days to get back into the, I was also up for 18 hours yesterday, and I only slept like 6. Because we got back to Pittsburgh, got in a hotel room, slept like 6 hours, got up, went home, and then, I only slept for like 6 hours, and I was up for 18 hours yesterday. Then I went to bed at 3, and then I woke up at 1. So, yeah. It doesn't matter too much for me, just because of the jet lag, because I can do this whenever. Like, I can make a video at, like, 11 o'clock at night and have it scheduled for the next day, so, like, I don't have a 9-to-5 job to get acclimated to, like, I have to go back to or anything. So I get to take my time. So I'm going to try to go to bed a little earlier tonight, try to go to bed around 2 a.m. tonight, and then tomorrow I'll try 1 a.m., and then the day after that, midnight, and try to get back into, like, the rhythm of things. It'll take a few days, but I'm not in a hurry. It's not, like, a big deal. It's not like I have to wake up tomorrow at like 7 a.m. to get to work or something like that, so we're fine. How long was the flight? It was 12 hours back. 12 hours back. 11 hours there. 11 hours there, but we also had a 5-hour flight to San Francisco, and then we went to Japan. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm not going to push myself with, like, I got to stay up late or go to bed super early. It's just like, I'm just going to slowly ease back into it. It's not a big deal. All right, let's see what we got here. Have I ever gone to New Jersey or New York? I've been to both. I've been to New Jersey just because I was at Newark Airport, which, by the way, never go to Newark Airport. Every time, the only times I've ever had a flight delayed was at fucking Newark Airport, all right? Never go there. I'm going to try to avoid that place from the time being if I fucking can manage it. But yeah, there was like a 5-hour layover in Newark, and the flight got delayed even further, so we were there like 8 hours. Oh, dude. Imagine they create the Straw Hats' dead family and the friends coming out to tell them, oh, dude, that'd be fun. Let's have that. Let's have some dead Bellamirs show up and talk to Nami. Do you think it's kind of ridiculous that more of the Straw Hats don't use at least one form of hockey? I feel like that could have definitely been explored earlier. Usopp has observation, but that was never really shown outside of Dressrosa because Usopp's never really had a lot of opportunities to shine. Frankie should have armament. Brooke should have armament. Robin should have armament. Nami should have observation. Like, these are ones that are kind of obvious. Yeah. I think Ronya is inspired by main characters called Ronya from The Robber's Daughter. Check it out. I've never heard of it before. I feel like it was a reference to something, but I didn't know. Oh, and good job with your manga, dude. Let's see right here. TYP35. Hi, Teching. Love your reviews. Do you think the world government will be victorious on Elbaf? Also, what if Gunko is the granddaughter of the captain of the Rumbar Pirates? Oh, like Yorkie's granddaughter. I mean, that would be crazy, but not impossible. Brooke seemed to, like, recognize her, which is very strange. Have you seen John Carpenter's The Thing? No. I don't think I've seen the whole thing. I think I've only seen clips of that movie. Same thing with Alien. I didn't see Alien for the first time until last year. Yeah. Or 2 years ago. It was 2023. I saw Alien for the first time. Yeah. But yeah. Thank you for all the super chats. I haven't seen the whole thing. Teching, do you think Thatch ate the Yami Yami Nomi before Blackbeard, or did Blackbeard take the fruit before Thatch got the chance to eat it? I'm pretty sure he killed. I think in the scene you see him killing Thatch and then taking the fruit. I'm pretty sure. If not, I'm sure that's what happened. Yeah. I mean, Gunko, think about what Gunko did. Gunko wrapped up the Straw Hats, Jinbei, Brooke, Usopp, and Nami in her arrows, and they can't escape. Like, what are they supposed to do in that situation? Like, they could hit her, which they did, but she regenerates immediately. Jinbei, I think, is playing it smart, which is like, all right, we tried attacking her and it didn't work. I hit Brooke instead. So I think Jinbei is like, all right, I'm not rushing in to fight her again until I have a fucking plan. I'm not just going to, like, Jinbei smash! You know, like, I'm just going to, like, all right, I got to think about this because this is going to be a crazy ability. Nami and Usopp getting captured, even Brooke getting captured, doesn't really throw me as like, he's like, what? There's no way. It's like, it makes sense. Makes sense to me. I hope the snow fruit is not just gone from the story forever. I hope it does pop in again. I don't know how. It doesn't have to be on the Sunny with the tangerines, but I hope it pops in at some point. Man, there's people that are saying Scopper's going to die. Ripley's going to die. Saul's going to die. Man, somebody's got to die. You should have called Buggy. That would have solved every problem in One Piece. Just call Buggy up. Buggy! Attend any Comic Cons recently? No. Haven't really ever. I've never actually been to a proper Comic Con. I got invited to go to New York last year, but I didn't go. Someday I'll go to a proper Comic Con. But for now, just boring old ordinary anime conventions. Yeah. Oh, people, I got a comment today that somebody said that Angie is a snitch. Like, she's working with them because she actually said all the names of the children, like she was working with Killingham. Dude, what else was Angie supposed to do in that situation? Like, I really don't see that as, like, her, like, betraying anybody. Like, she's a teacher, and these children have been kidnapped. I think, like, her, like, relaying that information on which children have been kidnapped so the parents fucking know, I think that is a smart idea to do that. Like, what you're supposed to say, like, I'm not helping you, I'm not telling you which children were kidnapped. It's like, yeah, I think that's perfectly fine for her to read out the names of the kids so their parents know. If anything, that might make the parents even more, like, dedicated. Like, Oimo's grandson got kidnapped. So Oimo is now like, oh, we gotta go save my grandson, captains, let's go. You know? Okay, yeah, the Books from Ohara thing, that might have been a little unnecessary. Okay, Angie, you're back on the sus list. Yeah, that might have been a little bit too far. But, like, whatever. I mean, they were already taking the place over, but yeah, maybe saying that might have been a little bit too excessive. It's just, in that particular instance, I don't think that necessarily is a bad choice. Angie also is the one that told them to draw their fears. Oh no. I don't know. I don't feel traitor vibes from Angie. I think she'll be all right. I think she's fine. Maybe she just does have a big mouth. Maybe she just does blabber things that she shouldn't sometimes. By the way, the secret to destroying Yggdrasil is lighting it on fire at this exact point. Damn it, Angie. She's like Krillin from TFS Abridged. Like, I cannot keep quiet when I'm scared. You know, like, it might just be something like that. What will happen to York? We still don't know what's up with York. Are the Gorosei going to make a New York? I don't know. Angie is, we'll do that. We'll do a poll here at the end because it's about an hour and a half going here. All right, here we go. Is Angie a traitor? Oh, wait, hold on. Not now. Hold on. I want to add another option here. Hold on. Give me a second. Is Angie a traitor? Yes. No. There we go. All right. Yes. No. No. But she is kind of sus. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I heard the Pope died. I was in Japan when it happened. Can't remember. I think we were heading back from Tokyo. We were on a train, and then I got a thing on my phone that said, yeah, Pope passed away. I think his funeral is today, right? Or tomorrow. And it was like the day after Easter. It was like Easter Monday he passed away. She's just very incompetent in a panic. Hey, I get that. Hey, you know, if you've never been in a hostage situation, you don't know how you would act in that way. You might say, I don't care. I'm really badass, man. You could put a gun to my head. You could ask me for any information. I'm not going to give it to you. And then you might actually be in that situation where you got the shit beat out of you and a gun pointed right at your head and be like, tell me where to find, blah, blah, blah. Be like, it's down the street to the left. The back door is unlocked. There's a key behind the potted plant. Please don't kill me. Like, you don't fucking know what situation you're going to be in that moment. Yeah. They didn't beat her. They inflicted sleep paralysis on her. That's pretty bad. No, they just used magic paralysis ability on you. That's pretty bad. Where is Caribou? He's on Hachinosu with Blackbeard. Yep. So the poll is 55%. No, Angie's probably not a traitor, but she is kind of sus. Oh yeah, sleep paralysis sucks. I've only experienced it like twice, but it's not an experience I would recommend. 1 out of 10 stars. I might also, I don't know about if I'm going to do it 100%, but I might be streaming Baldur's Gate on Twitch tonight as well, just because of the way I am right now. Like, I woke up, like, it's 6:30 p.m. here, but I woke up like 5 hours ago because of the time difference and shit. So I might be maybe later tonight playing some late night Baldur's Gate on Twitch. So I am on Twitch now. I should probably bring this up more in the videos. I'm horrible at marketing. Oh, by the way, also, I checked in with the company that's doing the berry plushies, the vampire berry plushies. Update on that. They are going to be shipping very soon. The original date was like April because it takes several months to ship them out. Like the original plushies didn't ship like immediately. So it said like April and May. But there's also a lot of stuff going on right now in the U.S. with like the tariff situation, if you guys know about that. So I was talking to my contact over at the website Spring. And I was like, yeah, what are we, they shipping out soon? It's like, yeah, they should be shipping out pretty soon. And I think they are sending out emails to everybody that ordered one about how that's going to go down. But like, yeah, there's some situations with tariffs. And so that delayed some things. And it's like, okay, now I get it. There's a lot of bullshit right now. I get you. So they are going to be on their way. I'm not sure when, though. Pretty soon they're going to be shipping out, though. I'm hoping like in May they'll get those out to people. I ordered like 9 of them. 9 vampire berries. Plus the one I have back there. So I will have 10 vampire berries. I'm hoping to give them out when I go to like Techo this year as like one of the prizes for the trivia contest. I'm going to be giving out like a vampire berry. So hopefully I'll have them by then. Sorry for your country, mate. Yeah. Nah, it's cool. It's all right. There was, we were in line coming back. This was the first thing that happened when we got back to the U.S. We're in line at passport control, me and a friend. And passport control was a long line. It took about 50 minutes to get through passport control. There were a lot of people. And there was a woman behind us from Greece. And she turned to, like, say something to the guy behind her. And the guy behind her was, like, having, like, headphones in, like, earbuds in. And just started shouting in the line, like, why are you talking to me? Quit talking to me. I have headphones in. I'm not listening to you right now. I'm not listening to anybody. Quit talking to me. You turn around. You don't talk to me. And the lady from Greece was like, oh, okay. And she turned. We were chatting with her for a bit. She was a pretty cool lady. I want to go visit Crete now. But anyway, that was the first interaction, like upon getting back to the United States. And I kind of just turned to my friend and I was like, yep. We're back in the U.S. now. We're back in the U.S. now. Yeah. Loud, belligerent man in the passport line. Go to SLC. I've never heard of that. I don't know what the next One Piece movie is. Also, Arthur doesn't know what the next One Piece movie is. And if he doesn't know, nobody knows. But hopefully soon we'll get an announcement. The Eustace Captain Kidd movie. Finally in IMAX in 3D. Oh, Salt Lake City. I would love to visit Salt Lake City. I was actually thinking about going to Salt Lake City. Yeah, that snake thorn thing that Summers made, that was pretty cool. I don't know if it's an actual snake or just he made a thorn to look like a snake. I don't know. Oh, dude, by the way, did you guys enjoy all of the devil fruit food themed videos while I was gone? We're not even done with all of them yet. We have to do the cream fruit next. Like, that's going to be fun. So, yeah, we have Opera's cream fruit. That's going to be next on the video series. Dude. Then we have, after that, we have Smoothie's Shibo no Mi, which is not the same thing. I'm actually looking forward to Smoothie's because her ability is actually pretty unique. It isn't just she makes juice. There's a couple of things that are useful with that ability. And then after that one, we have Ovens. Have the thumbnail for that. Good old Ovens fruit, the heat fruit. After Oven, we have the cook fruit. That'll be Stroizen's. I actually have two thumbnails for Stroizen. His younger years and his older years. And then after that, I think those are the only ones I have thumbnails for. We have Morley's Push fruit, and then Doc Q's Sick fruit, the Warp fruit, the Strong fruit, Riding, Cannon, the Grow fruit, which is Biblos, and the Thorn fruit. And then after that, we're all done. We're done with the Paramecias. We're almost done. We only have like about 10 more. Yeah, we only got about 11 or 12 more, and we're done. Oh, man. Ha! Oven would be a great baker. I should just make that whole premise of the video. Just Oven's going to retire and be a baker. But yeah, we've been going for about an hour and a half. We covered, I think, pretty much everything major in the chapter. So I'm probably going to be winding it down now. I have another stream I want to do because I got like birthday stuff and I want to go through all the stuff I actually got from Japan. But kind of just trying to ease back into everything with what all the travel and everything like that. Yeah, I'm going to be a baker when I retire. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. I'm just going to make croissants for the rest of my life. I'm going to go travel to France and become the apprentice of a croissant artisan. And then I'm going to study for years to learn how to make croissants. And then I'm going to make croissants, and then I'll die. That'll be my retirement years. The croissants will be my children. That'll be the way it works. Yeah, I'm gonna be ending it soon. But then I'll probably be doing another stream, maybe on Twitch tonight. Twitch, Teching 101. We do Baldur's Gate 3 streams there. Just hit Act 3, so we're gonna be kicking off Act 3. That's gonna be a lot of fun. The Bark Urge. He's like the Dark Urge, except he's a tree. That's really fun. So look forward to that. It really doesn't have a set schedule. Hopefully also be getting back into the One Piece TCG streams with Briggs. Those are usually Tuesdays. I had to film 2 streams with them. I did the One Piece D&D Marines and Isekai D&D finale when I was in Japan. I had to wake up at like 6 a.m. for that. But dude, that Isekai D&D finale, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil anything, but holy shit, that was epic. That was so much fun. It was such a fun episode. I don't have the patience to make sourdough. Like, getting the starter for it just seems like that's a process I don't want to mess with. It's just like, I'm just going to make other types of bread or just buy sourdough bread. I don't need to know how to make sourdough bread in my life. I just don't care about it enough to know how to make it. I mean, I know how to make it. It's just, this takes too long. And I know you don't got to do much. You just got to get the starter ready and then just wait a few days. But it's like, I don't want to have like a jar on my counter for like 5 days waiting for. I don't want to do that. Oh, Japan exceeded my expectations. Yeah, it was beautiful. Beautiful country. I have a lot more stuff to say about my trip for sure, but like we'll talk about that, you know, as we go. Tekking's Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. I love your vids. I've been watching you for about 7 years and really appreciate your enthusiasm for the series. Well, thank you. It's a series worth enthusiasm, I would say. And a lot of people in Japan feel the same way because there's a lot of One Piece stuff in Japan for sure. Oh, we also visited Hachiko's statue outside of Shibuya Station. Hachiko, who is renowned as the best doggo of all time. We saw his statue, and I took a picture of it. He was a good boy. Hachiko was a good boy. How many Pokemon centers did I go to? 7. 7 Pokemon centers. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the effort to make sourdough, I'm sure, is worth it. And I like sourdough bread. It's just, like, I feel like I don't love it enough to go through the whole process of make it, I guess, is the best way for me to describe it. It's fine. But it's just, like, I could just go to the store that's, like, a minute from my house if I want sourdough bread. But, I only did 3. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I am going to wrap this up now, and I'll be back later. Probably going to make a follow-up video about the chapter, something involving Gunko or Scopper and Robin maybe, and see where that really goes. So look forward to that. And then also check out my Twitch. If I'm streaming, it'll probably be tonight, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern. I'm not sure when. At some point, though. Got to catch all those Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokemon in Japan. A lot of Pokemon representation that I never assumed would be there. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you got your Pikachus and your Eevees, but then you got like other Pokemon every now and then. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's good to be back and nice to start getting back into videos and streams and all that good shit. Might be a while until I get a normal sleep schedule, but you guys probably won't see anything of major difference. Thanks for watching, everybody. You all have a fantastic night. Later. And if you ever have the opportunity to go to Japan, I would recommend you don't pass it up. Maybe you're a little nervous, like, I don't know, it's on the other side of the world, or I don't know, I can't speak Japanese. You'll be fine. It's a very welcoming country. You'll enjoy yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching, everybody. Tekking 101 signing out. Have a great evening.